All right. Got a nice cup of coffee to keep me going through the evening here. Mm. Ah, Welcome to another episode of Board Progression Live Chat. Every Wednesday night here. We're doing them all season long. Thanks to anybody who's been to any of these live chats. And yeah, I think this is number 18. I was doing a good job of keeping track how many we've done in a row, but I lost count. Sorry, guys. Anyway, it's been an awesome season. It was great to get up to Idaho this past weekend. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to meet up with Kevin Reddish, aka Red, in the comments and in the live chats. But he was very gracious enough, along with a couple other of you guys, to give me a couple super chats to help pay for a pass to Bogus Basin. So was able to hit up Bogus Basin last weekend, which was awesome. I'll talk about it more once some more people probably drop in to the comment section, because I know some of you guys are up there in Idaho, or around that area anyway. So I'll talk about that a little bit more when people get in. We got a few things to talk about. On kind of a sad note, a lot of you guys probably know that I'm from Baltimore originally. And if you heard what happened in the news yesterday, yeah, it's pretty sad. A bridge that I've driven over before collapsed after a container ship crashed into it. And it seems like there's a few people who died who were construction workers working on the bridge when that happened, which really sucks. So super sad to hear, but I was getting a bunch of text messages from people all over who just knew that I was from Baltimore, and yeah, they're just like in shock. Everybody was in shock about what happened. It's so sad. It's going to take forever for them to rebuild that bridge. But yeah, it's just kind of crazy. Celica and I have driven over that bridge ourselves. Thankfully, it happened in the middle of the night. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, just Google Key Bridge in Baltimore, or Francis Scott Key Bridge, and you'll hear all about it. But anyway, moving on away from somber, sadder news, let's talk about this weekend. This weekend, it's going to dump. In fact, it's been snowing pretty much every day this week, it seems. Yesterday, we had some crazy squalls whip up right outside the window here in the backyard. It was sunny for 1 minute, and then the next minute it was just dumping snow, which is crazy. And yeah, I feel like it's been snowing since Sunday. Sunday, I was on the way back from Idaho, and me, Celica, and Arthur got caught in some pretty heavy snow coming down, and then some rain. And it was like kind of right in between the rain and the freezing. And actually around Ogden, a car wrecked right in front of us, lost control, started fishtailing. It was kind of wild. Fortunately, I reacted really quickly, and I was paying attention, and I was able to brake with enough distance in front of us and kind of merge over one lane. And fortunately, there was nobody like behind us in my blind spot. But yeah, a car started fishtailing, spun around, hit the wall, pinballed off of the median in the left lane a couple times, and then finally came to a rest and like stopped in the shoulder, which was crazy. So we were super grateful that we weren't involved in that accident, and it looked like the people in the car were totally fine, just like really shaken up. But that was kind of wild. Anyway, yeah, it's been snowing since Sunday all week long, and I haven't been able to get out riding, but I'm going to get out tomorrow. So pretty stoked about that. I think I'm going to link up with Alex. I haven't ridden with him in a long time. Last time I rode with him was probably at least 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago. And you guys might not have seen him in any videos because I was filming for a GoPro versus Osmo Action 4 video when I rode with him that day. So you guys haven't seen any of that footage yet, but that's actually dropping tomorrow. So I'm really stoked about that. Been working for a while on this video for DJI. DJI's Osmo Action 4 has been an awesome camera. I actually did some modifications to this camera. I got wind noise protection now on the bottom, which I've been hesitant to put on there because it looks like it would be hard to apply, but I think I figured out how to do it. So I'm going to test that out tomorrow, see if that improves some of the wind noise. But other than that, the camera has been fantastic. So I'm dropping a head-to-head video tomorrow of the Osmo Action 4 versus the GoPro Hero 12. I'm super grateful to GoPro. They've been hooking me up with cameras the last couple of years, including this year. They gave me the Max Lens Mod 2 as well as the Hero 12. And yeah, I can't say enough good things about GoPro, but DJI reached out to me and I'm really pleased with their camera. Honestly, it's been very impressive. So you'll just have to wait and see if you guys want to find out if I'm going to make a switch to DJI permanently from now on, or if I'll go back to GoPro, or maybe use both. Yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm very interested to see what GoPro releases next season, because I think they're at a very critical point right now where they need to come out with something pretty significant, kind of reinvent the wheel, something to sort of wow the public again, because I think just their cameras are really good at what they do, but there hasn't been like a leap forward enough that it seems like they are on top. Anyway, yeah, so that video drops tomorrow. We got a couple of people dropping in right now into the chat. We got Adventure Carlo coming in. What's up, Adventurer Carlo? He says, yo. What's up, Adventurer Carlo? Where are you tuning in from tonight? It's good to see you in here, man. Yeah, where are you tuning in from, and what are you up to? Are you riding this week? Yeah, it looks like between now and I think Sunday, actually, I think in the next 4 days alone, there's supposed to be like 22, 24 inches in the upper Cottonwoods, Alta and Snowbird. And then it's supposed to snow a little bit more even after that, Sunday and Monday. It's going to be kind of crazy if it's a POW day on Easter. Easter is this Sunday. And then April Fool's is the day after, which is wild. But hopefully we don't get April Fooled with the snow predictions. And I think there's another storm coming in after that, long-term forecast, which isn't as reliable. But it looks like the long-term forecast has a little something coming mid to late next week too. So pretty stoked. It seems like April could be starting off the same way that March did, because March has been a pretty good month for snowfall. Yeah, February and March have been delivering really well here in Utah. So yeah. Oh, Adventurer Carlos says, watching from Boise, Idaho. Sick. Wish I could have rode Bogus with you. Yeah, me too, man. Me too. That's a bummer that it didn't work out. Yeah, I was just there for one day, unfortunately, last Saturday, but it ended up being a really good one. There was like 3 inches, I think, forecasted that day. And I got to the parking lot, the main parking lot, at like 8:30. Actually, I think it was earlier than that. It was like 8:15. And the whole drive up, I was just like, man, this is going to be not the best conditions, but we'll make the most of it, because it was just overcast, gray. There was a lot of like grass showing everywhere, and pulled into the parking lot. It looked like it was just going to be kind of bulletproof. But all of a sudden it got cloudier and cloudier. And within like 15 minutes of me parking, it just started dumping. It started snowing, got really foggy and cloudy. And I met up with a homie, Trevor, who I'd never met before, but he reached out to me and said that he had a half off pass for me, a locals like season pass, half off buddy pass. So major shout out to Trevor. It was awesome. And yeah, started hanging out with him. He showed me around a little bit, and every lap that we rode just got better and better and better throughout the day. The first lap, it was like, okay, there's like an inch or two on top of groomers. Like, okay, we'll stay on the groomers. This is pretty fun. And then like next lap, okay, there's more snow on top of the groomers. Next lap after that, it was like, okay, maybe we can actually get a little off piece. And before we know it, it was like 5 to 6 inches midday. And I think it stopped around 1 o'clock, and it was like maybe 6 inches, 7 inches in some like wind buffed areas. But it was like crazy windy in parts of the mountain in the morning too. It was like almost unrideable in some sections, but then other sections were completely protected from the wind and it was totally fine. Anyways, it's going to make for an epic video. I can't wait to show you guys. Again, shout out to Trevor, because Trevor held the camera and got some follow cams for me a little bit and some post ups. So it was sick. Yeah, I wish I could have ridden with more of you guys at Bogus, because I know a bunch of you have been reaching out saying that you're up there. I wasn't able to link up with Red either, but I did run into a Boise, or I should say Bogus Basin legend, if you guys know who I'm talking about. Yes, we ran into L Stackers. If you guys have seen him at all on YouTube in the comments or in his own channel, really nice guy. He unfortunately said that he hasn't been riding much this year. He's just been working a lot. And I think he said he was only at like 8 days. It was like his 8th day riding. So, yeah, if you're wondering why he hasn't been posting much this winter, I guess that's why. But it was still really cool to link up with him and get a few laps with him. And he kind of showed me his favorite runs, which was really cool. And yeah, like the second half of the day, once it stopped snowing, it cleared up and we got great visibility. It was beautiful. Got some great views of Boise and like the valleys below. And Bogus was awesome. I had a great time there. It was really fun. So can't wait to work on that video and show you guys what that was like. I'll probably drop that early next week. As of right now, I'm on schedule to drop it Monday or Tuesday. So stay tuned for that. But that was super fun. Can't wait to get back up there, honestly. So probably won't be this season, but I want to get up there and check out a couple other resorts as well as Bogus next season if we can. Trevor recommended, I think it was Brundage and Tamarack, I want to say. Started with a T. I think that's it. I might be butchering the name. But I want to get up there and check those out. He said they're both really sick. L Stacker said the same thing. And yeah, I was pretty impressed. And it's cool too that Bogus is only like 45 minutes from my in-laws' house. We stay with the in-laws. And yeah, it was a great time for just a 1-day shred, quick weekend trip. But yeah, too bad I didn't see you guys. Sean Whaley, what's up? He says, I did Powder Mountain today. Choose the location based on your review. It was awesome. Nice, dude. Glad to hear. Yeah, glad you liked the Pall Mall review. I'm curious to know what it's like with some of the changes that have happened. Honestly, it changed quite a bit like 2 weeks after I posted that review. So I'm curious to know your thoughts, Sean, about crowds and if it was like busy. I mean, it's weekday, so hopefully weekday it wasn't bad. And there wasn't like a ton of snow forecasted. So I'm guessing it probably wasn't too crowded. But yeah, the prices have gone up and they have released the cap on the season passes now. So anybody that wants to buy a pass that's willing to shell out the money for it can buy one, but they're raising the prices based on demand instead of just having a straight up limit. So I don't know what to make of that. It doesn't sound great to me, but I need to get back up there. Hopefully I can get it back up there next week. I think next week would be the last opportunity I can, because I think they close on April 7th, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, if I don't get up there next week, then that's going to be it for me, unfortunately, for Pall Mall this season. That will have meant I only got up there once this season, which is crazy because in seasons past, I got up there at least like, I don't know, 8 to 10 times. So yeah, Pall Mall, love that place, but it's probably no secret that there's a lot of controversy with the changes that management's going through up there. Glad you had an awesome time though. Medium of Media, what's up? Yo, let's go. Pumped for the stream. Nice. You better be shredding. Yeah, dude. Hope all is well with the fam. Thanks, man. Yeah, the family's doing well, and we had a great weekend this weekend visiting Selka's parents with Arthur. Yeah, my little guy's a year old. He's walking now. Still wants to hold your hand while he's walking, so I don't think we're gonna get him on a snowboard just yet. But I still have hope that we're gonna get him on a board before the end of the season because there's still some time. But yeah, he's doing well, and yeah, we had a nice visit with the family. It was the in-laws' wedding anniversary weekend, so that was just sick. Yeah, it was nice to be up there with the family, and the wife's doing well, and yeah, we're all doing well. I hope you're doing well as well. Thanks, man. And as far as shredding goes, gonna be shredding tomorrow. Looks like the bird probably. Yeah, I think the chances of getting some good snow there tomorrow are good. I'm hoping that the winds aren't going to be too crazy. Trying to ride with Alex. Alex is limited to riding at the bird right now. I don't think I've got any other passes for him to ride elsewhere. But I heard Solitude was pretty good today. Austin said he was up there today, and they've got the Red Bull. I forget what it's called. It's gonna kill me. I'm sure one of you guys will probably chime in, but Red Bull something. There's a ski park contest, and it's got some crazy big features at Solitude right now. It's kind of wild because Solitude just like 2 years ago didn't even have parks. Like it was unheard of for them to have a training park. And then last season they put a park in. This season they've had a park in, and now they have one of the heaviest, like biggest featured parks I've ever seen. I just saw a clip of it on Instagram. If you guys haven't seen it, check it out. They posted like some aerial footage of it. It goes down this Saturday and Sunday. And I'm just gonna look it up really quick because that's gonna bug me, the name of it. It's a ski contest, so give me some grace. Red Bull, but it looks absolutely insane. Cascade, that's it. It's Red Bull Cascade, and yeah, it's free to the public to watch Saturday and Sunday, and it's like a freestyle skiing comp with some of the best in the world. It looks absolutely gnarly, but like absolutely precision cut, like razor sharp edges on all the jumps and everything, like perfect angles. It looks immaculate. But it looks pretty sick. So if anybody's going to be at Solitude this weekend, that might be something fun to watch. And I'm curious to see what they're going to do with the park when it's done. If they just tear it down, it's probably a liability, I'm guessing, to keep it up. But I don't know. Snowbird kept the Peace Park up for like a couple days last year when they had the Peace Park Championships and the public could hit it. So maybe Solitude will. Speaking of which, Snowbird has just completely given up on the Woodward Park, I guess. They said all gung-ho, like, yeah, we're going to do this again. We're going to do this every spring. And even at the beginning of the season, like they had a page on the website still for it. And they said, like, stay tuned for more details coming soon about spring Woodward Park at the Bird. And then like quietly, they haven't done anything. And it's, April's at the doorstep right now. So they should have announced something by now. They should have been working on it already by now. But I looked into it. I looked at their website, and there's like a page that has a small little sentence about it because they said something about there's a page that talks about them upgrading Wilbur because they're changing Wilbur this year, and I think one other lift. And it says like due to all the construction that they have to do to shut down Gad Valley, I don't know, all the resources are going towards that or something, and the Woodward Park collaboration is on hold. And I think those are the words they used. What does hold mean? Like hold until next year, hold indefinitely, hold for a couple weeks? Like, I don't know. It seems like they're chickening out for whatever reason to me. I think now that the publicity of the whole Peace Park excitement is gone like it was last year, you know, with Danny Davis and everything. I have a feeling the birds, just whoever's in upper management's just like, do we really need a terrain park back there in the spring? But anyway, that's my rant, because I thought it was pretty sick that the bird was doing that, but I'm guessing they're giving up on it. So good on Solitude for having something big and throwing down with a big park. Yeah, Adventure Carla says can't wait to see the video. It's going to be a good one, man. I'm really stoked. Yeah, I was gonna do, you know, mostly solo stuff, old school, like just selfie cam and POV and some drone stuff for B-roll and whatnot. But homie Trevor hooked it up. He was awesome. He held the camera quite a bit, and he was really good at it too. It's hard to find somebody who's good at holding a camera and staying close enough, and he can keep up with you and everything. And he did that and then some. So it was sick. It's going to be a good one. Yeah, Adam Rouse says keep the snow coming. Even here in Arizona, it's looking like we'll be open into May again this year. Sweet. Love to hear that, dude. That's so sick. Yeah. And speaking of May, Brighton announced again another resort that's actually like coming through for the community. They're doing their meltdown again. They did the Millie meltdown last year, and I don't think that they've confirmed where it's going to be this year. They said that there'll be more details to come about where it's going to be, because they might not do it on Millie, I guess. So they're not calling it the Millie meltdown. They're just calling it the meltdown right now. But it sounds like they're going to try to keep that going all the way to Memorial Day. At least one chairlift with some park features, which would be really fun. So that's sick. I'm glad Arizona is doing well. Yeah, that's sick. What's your favorite resort in Arizona, Adam Rouse? Do you have a favorite? I'd love to know. MG, what's up, MG? I'll be in PC on the 7th. Do you think Snow Basin would be worth a day trip? Yeah, I'd say so. Snow Basin is fun, man. It's like, I think Snow Basin is probably the most underrated resort in Utah as far as like a big resort experience goes, because it's kind of right up there with the Bird, maybe even Park City, and Brighton. It's definitely like in the same family. I'd say it's probably got more to offer than Solitude. The biggest, I guess, compromise, or the biggest weakness, if Snow Basin has one, is its lower elevation. Now, compared to Park City, it's actually probably pretty similar. But the lower mountain gets pretty warm compared to mid and upper mountain. And, you know, with exception, there are some times where storms come in super cold and like the base conditions are really good. But for the most part, upper mountain conditions are a lot better than lower mountain conditions. But it's a nice resort. It's big. It's got a lot to offer. It's got a nice even pitch like the whole way down with not a lot of flat sections. It's got some awesome terrain. If everything is open, especially upper mountain, it's got some really good small hikes you can do to get to some sick bowls and like some cliffy areas. Yeah, I just posted a video. I don't know if you saw it, but check it out. We got to go up to Basin 2 weeks ago, and Austin and I got early ups thanks to the homie Mark, and we got to ride for like an hour before the resort opened. It was pretty sick. And that wasn't even a great snow day, honestly. It was kind of, I wouldn't say bad, but it was like mediocre. But we still had an awesome time. So you can have an awesome time even if you don't get early ups up there. But I would say, yeah, it's worth it, a trip to check it out. Especially if you've got like an icon or something and it doesn't cost you a day. But it's only good on the full icon, not the base icon. Yeah, speaking of Park City, if you guys didn't see, I dropped a video yesterday of our meetup at Park City and Solitude, which was super sick, really fun. Shout out to my good friend Mike, who hooked Austin and I up with some passes because I don't have an Epic Pass this year. So unfortunately, that's probably the only day I will get at Park City this year before they close. But I think I'm going to get an Epic Pass, an Epic local pass next year if I can. I'm going to try. I'd say like 60-70% chance I'll get one. Yeah. So anyway, check out the video, guys, if you haven't seen it. It was super fun. Great time at Park City and Solitude. If you didn't hear, we did a meetup and it went really well. Took me a while to get it out. We shot it a week and a half ago, actually. But I just got the video out yesterday. And yeah, if you guys want to see what it's like to do like a meetup where you can ride together, I'm going to do more of them next season. Check that video out and it'll give you an idea of what we did. It was super fun. We also did like lunch and stuff too, which I didn't film. But yeah, there'll be more details for that next season if anybody's interested, if anybody's in the area. It was super fun. Really surpassed my expectations. Gary, what's up, Gary? It's good to see you, man. Gary says, yeah, conditions were great today at Snow Bowl. Unfortunately, the Chondola was down. Oh, man. Sorry to hear that. Yeah, that's awesome, dude. I bet conditions were good. Yeah, Austin was at Solitude, and he said conditions were really good, especially anything in the shade. Yeah, it's going to be a really good weekend, I think. It's kind of crazy, though. Like, it's Easter weekend. You think people are going to be out in force, like in crowds? I don't know. What do you guys think? Sean says, yeah, there was some grumbling about the changes at Pall Mall he's talking about. No crowds, but better than Disney and compared to Disney. Yeah, I can imagine that. Now, you talking about Disneyland or Disney World? I haven't been to either in a while, but the last time I was at Disneyland, geez, I don't know how long it was. It was probably like 7 or 8 years ago, but it was pretty busy. I haven't seen the new Star Wars land or anything. That looks kind of cool. Sean says there were lots of seniors at Pall Mall. Like senior week, like high schoolers. No, I'm just kidding. I heard some people say like, oh, Pall Mall's for old people, but I don't know, man. Maybe with the new rules, they're trying to push out all the old people who are like seasoned in or grandfathered in, I should say, who were grandfathered in because you used to have to be grandfathered in to have a pass. Or once you got in from the wait list. But yeah, I guess so. I don't know. I've seen a lot of people younger and like my age too when I've been there, but I don't know. Maybe things during the week have more senior citizens. I don't know. Jason Evangelista, what's up, Jason? He says, hi, Dan. Hi, all in the chat. Dude, good to see you, man. Good to see you in here. Yeah, we've been chatting about this past weekend at Bogus and the storm coming in right now. Storms, I should say, coming in right now. Speaking of next week, I'm trying really hard to get another day at Bogus Basin. No, not Bogus. Sorry, we just went to Bogus. At Beaver. I'm trying to get another day at Beaver before the end of the season. I think they close on April 7th as well. So basically, if I don't get to Pall Mall or Beaver next week, that's it for the season. But yeah, it's been hard to time a trip up to Beaver. It's pretty far up there from here. And I had a connection there, I thought, to get some passes. And somebody reached out to me, fortunately, and asked about like when I'd like to come up, but I haven't heard back from them for a few days. So don't know if I'll actually make it up to Beaver, which I'm bummed about. I really wanted to hit Beaver one more time before I dropped the Beaver review video, because I only rode there once and it was like mediocre conditions. And I felt like that place really deserved a better snow day for me to give it a proper review, because it had some awesome terrain, and it's just been really hard to schedule a day when the snow's good up there, unfortunately. So don't know if it's going to happen, guys, but say your prayers for me and do your snow dances that maybe they'll get hit well this weekend and I could ride up there next week, or Pall Mall for that matter. But I'd rather go to Beaver than Pall Mall at this point. Yeah. So, Gary, what's up? Gary says they're having all the big downhill events for the Olympics at Snow Basin. They did last Olympics. Do you know if that's been confirmed? I was talking to my friend Mark at Snow Basin, and he heard that they were going to try to do them somewhere else this Olympics to switch it up. I don't know. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me if that's the case. He said that he heard a rumor they're going to try to do it somewhere over by Deer Valley. Maybe like the new expansion of Deer Valley, but it sounded like that was just a rumor. Yeah, I don't know if you've heard anything more than rumors, Gary, or if you're just going by what they did last time. But yeah, they did all the downhill stuff. That's why they built the tram, actually, the tram that goes up to that part of the upper mountain above John Paul. That was all built for the downhill racing. So it's kind of like already there. They have like a shack for like a starting gate and stuff. It would be interesting if they didn't do it there again, because the terrain and like the length of it is probably better than anywhere else that you can get to easily. I don't think they'll ever be able to do any Olympic stuff in the Cottonwoods, just because single lane road in and single lane road out. Although I think that's the big push that they're using for trying to get the gondola in Little Cottonwood. If they can get the gondola in there, then maybe that'll, get them the Olympic attention that Snowbird wants, and Alta for that matter. Yeah, I don't know. What else we got here? Sean says any Disney and their prices. Yeah. Yeah, it's true. Their prices have gotten completely out of control. Yeah, I don't know when I'll get back to a Disney resort. Maybe when Arthur gets a little bit older. It'll be fun to go again, but I don't even look and see how much passes cost and that sort of thing now. Yeah. MG, what's up, MG? I already said what's up, sorry, but he says thanks for the icon info for Snow Basin. Yeah, I did realize it's not on the base pass. It looks like I'm headed to the Cottonwoods. Did or didn't? I guess you're saying, yeah, didn't realize it's not on the base pass. Yeah, I made the mistake once last year. I think it was last year. I drove up there with Austin, and we both had base icon passes, and found out when we got there that the only discount we could get was a buddy pass from somebody else, and I think it was still like $90 or something, which we were not ready for. But fortunately, I had a homie who works there who came through with passes for us. But yeah, that's one to watch out for sure. Because I think especially last year or the year before, it was like new that they were on the icon pass. So it was like, oh, sweet, Snow Basin's added to the icon. But yeah, it's just the full icon. And honestly, I wish Snowbird. Yeah, I wish Snowbird and Brighton would do that. I wish they were on the full icon only. I think that would help with crowds. It obviously sucks because you have to spend more if you wanted to use Icon and get days there, but I think it would help with crowds and make it a little less crowded, maybe. I don't know. A lot of people complain about crowds at Snow Basin, but every time I've been there, it's not crowded, really. It gets a little congested at the base area. Granted, I haven't really ridden there on like a Saturday or Sunday, but weekdays, it's not crowded. Yeah, so I guess you're limited to either the Bird or Solitude or Brighton or Alta if you ski. Speaking of Alta, guys, a video, but man, the conditions just have not been lining up for me on the days that I can ride in a good way, I guess. Like snow's coming in, but the armpit gate needs to be open, or the Baldy chutes need to be open in order to do that. And I just haven't been able to get there on a day when that's the case. Either it's like been high winds, or it's been snowing, or poor visibility, or whatever the reason. I haven't been able to poach Alta. All the skiers are very happy about it, I guess. But yeah, I think they close April 7th. I want to say I think a few places are closing after this coming week. So there's not much time left to do that either. I hate this time of the year, man. Like March, it's like still fully winter here usually, and we're getting all this great snow, but all these resorts start closing down, or talking about it, making their announcements that they're closing. It's bittersweet every year. Yeah, speaking of the season sort of starting to wind down, I might put out a poll asking if you guys want to see any more live chats. But as we're coming to an end, I think less people are getting interested in chatting, which I'm grateful all you guys are here. This is awesome. Thank you for being here. I don't want to like kick anybody out, obviously. But if there's less traffic, for each of these chats, we'll probably call it at some point soon. But yeah, I obviously appreciate you guys being here. And since you're here, I'm sure you want there to be some chats. So chime in if you are enjoying them and if you want me to keep them going. But there's not going to be a whole lot to talk about as people's season starts to end, to be honest. Unless you guys want to talk about like golf or something. But yeah. By the way, we'll keep this going probably for like another 15 minutes. Yeah, golf. Baseball season starts tomorrow, I heard, if anybody watches baseball. I don't watch a ton of baseball, but my Orioles actually are like really good now. They were really good. Yeah, there we go, the thumb up again. They were really good last season, and then they choked in the playoffs. But they just got a new owner, a group of owners actually, and people who actually care about the Orioles. Cal Ripken is one of them, and it's looking like the Orioles are going to be awesome. So anyway, I won't talk about sports too much to kill you guys who aren't into organized sports like baseball, but it's hard to not be excited being from Maryland and Baltimore. Yeah, I think it's going to be an awesome baseball season. And there's rumors that Salt Lake's going to get a baseball team. If that's the case, that'd be sick, because then maybe the O's would come here and play. But yeah. Back to the chat. Gary says that's why they have the shacks as well. Yeah, up at the top of the tram at Snow Basin for the downhill racing. Yeah, that's why they put the shacks in there. I wonder if they just use them for storage or something now. I don't even know. Probably, that's my guess. Yeah. The Rascal says, isn't Brighton part of Icon? Yes, it is. Why do people get Brighton and Icon both? Well, I did this year. I got a Brighton plus icon, because you only get on the base icon 5 days at Brighton, and I wanted to ride Brighton more than 5 days. I could have spent like another $200 for the full icon and gotten 2 more days, but you know, that's like $100 a day basically. And I don't know. I knew I'd still probably ride more than 7 days at Brighton, and I definitely have. I've ridden, you know, probably 24 days at Brighton, something like that. And yeah, I think a lot of people who plan on riding Brighton a lot, but want to get a few days at Solitude because it's unlimited, and then, you know, a few days at the Bird, it's a pretty good way to go. And sometimes people will get the Bird plus icon. I've done that in the past before too. Just because if you get it as an add-on, it's pretty cheap to the basic local pass, and then it just gets you a whole nother mountain in Solitude basically, and a handful of days at some other resorts. So that's why people do it. Yeah. Gary says, but the Park City record earlier this month said it was going to be back at Snow Basin, huh? But I heard that originally from someone on the gondola. Okay, interesting. Yeah, I haven't heard any details confirmed one way or another about where stuff's going to be for the Olympics, but it seems like it would just be financially the most responsible thing, since, you know, all that stuff is already ready to go. But I don't know. The Rascals says we can talk about new gear. True. Could talk about some new gear for the coming season. Or I guess it doesn't have to be snow gear. And yeah, he says I grew up in Maryland, so rooting for the Orioles. Nice. That's awesome. Cool, man. What part of Maryland, I wonder? Yeah, I grew up in Howard County between Baltimore and DC. And then I lived in the city in Baltimore for like 5 or 6 years before moving here. Yeah, so Baltimore's been in my mind a lot this week. Shadow, what's up, Shadow? 233T says, yo, good to see you in here, man. Sean Whaley, snow sports are sports. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, there is some back and forth in the snowboard community about whether or not snowboarding is an art or a sport. It's kind of both, I think. If you guys ever have listened to the Bomb Hole snowboard podcast, they often ask their guests at the end, do you consider it a sport or an art? And I think it was maybe Spencer Schubert. Somebody gave a really good answer, and they said, like, oh, it's a blender. You throw it in a blender and mix it up, and it's kind of both. I kind of like that answer, because some people might be more heavily on the sport, some people more on the art, but yeah, I guess you could say it's a sport. There is a whole competitive side to it, right? For skiing and snowboarding, and then there's the more backcountry side or the more casual side, right? But yeah, I love it, no matter what it is, no matter what you call it. Sean says, did you do senior week in Ocean City? Yeah. He's asking the Rascals if he did senior week in Ocean City, but I'll tell you, I did. Yeah, I was a stupid 18-year-old the year I graduated, and did a lot of dumb things at senior week in Ocean City when I was 18. Probably a few more things too in my early 20s that I don't have excuses for. Chris Struck says, I want an epic and icon for next season. Better start a GoFundMe. Yeah. Chris, dude, what's up, Chris? Chris was at the meetup. Yeah, it was super sick riding with you, man. Chris was absolutely ripping at Solitude. You guys can see him in the latest video. But I agree. I want both, and I want a Brighton pass, and I want a snowbird pass. So wish me luck, guys. I'm going to be broke before the season starts. I was fortunate that I got gifted a snowbird pass this past season, but I don't think that's going to happen this year. Might be able to get an industry pass, which is a slight discount, but it's still like $1,000, I want to say. And same thing at Brighton. I got an industry pass this year, but it's still like, I don't know, 800, 900 bucks. Yeah. And if you can't do an industry pass, it's going to be pretty hefty to do Epic and Icon. I mean, I guess if you got the Epic local pass, I haven't seen the prices right now, but I feel like you can get an Epic local pass and then at least a base Icon pass for like 1,500, maybe less. Maybe like 13, 1,400. But yeah, decisions. The Rascal says I've been to Ocean City a few times. It's been a few decades though. LOL. Yeah, probably same with me, man. I grew up in Silver Spring. Cool, outside of DC. Nice, dude. Yeah, I was born in Silver Spring for a hot minute, and then yeah, basically spent like 90% of my childhood and teenage years in Howard County. Cool. Sean says, so a whole bunch of us from the Mid-Atlantic. Yeah, dude. Nice. Oh, Jason, get out of here. Jason says Yankees is my go-to. I can't fault you too much. There's just too many Yankees fans out there, no matter where you go. But my biggest thing that I have beef with people is when I find out if they're a Yankees fan, I'll ask, have you ever been to New York City, and have you ever lived in New York? Those two things. If you have, cool. If you haven't, whatever. But yeah, go Orioles. Gary says there used to be a checkpoint from Delaware into Maryland where they would check everyone's car for booze during senior week. Yeah, that's right, Gary. I remember that. But I also remember, ironically, between I think it's Delaware and Maryland, there was a liquor store that had a drive-in window. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I want to say it was like after you went over the Bay Bridge. Maybe that's where it was. Somewhere like after you went over the Bay Bridge northbound, there's a liquor store that had a drive-up window, like a drive-through, and you just drove up to the window, collected your liquor, and just, something about that to me is like encouraging people for drunk driving. Wild. But yeah, Chris Struck says, I'm thinking about an Icon with an Epic session pass. Okay, 3 to 5 days would be nice. I should probably look into that. Yeah, I mean, even last season when I had the Silver Pass from Ski Utah, I had unlimited days at Park City. I feel like I probably only rode there 4 times, maybe total, the whole season. So maybe I should look into that as well. I wanted to use it more, I remember, but the biggest thing was also just like being able to ride with people. And I was supposed to get some passes from Ski Utah for homies, but that was a little bit more challenging than it seemed it was going to be. But anyway, I've been talking to Austin about getting a pass, especially after the last time we were there for the meetup. It was super fun riding canyons. It always is. And I think Austin and I are talking about potentially both getting an Epic local pass, but yeah, maybe we should get one of the session passes, I guess they're called, for a few days. Sean asks, when do Icon prices increase? I think they go up soon. I think they go up incrementally over the spring and summer. There's a couple like dates where they jump up, but that's a good question. I guess we could all just Google it, but I want to say it's soon, like within a week or two. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything right now, just searching, but I want to say it's within a few weeks. Because I know I've seen incentives right now for people getting like the earliest early bird passes to other resorts and stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I won't waste you guys' time by digging through the internet trying to find that. But if anybody knows, chime in when prices go up. But I want to say it's sometime in April. So best prices is probably now. Yeah. Jason says, I get both Icon and Epic. Baller. Jason with the big money bags. Dude, Jason, you should have been at the Solitude and the Park City meetup, man. Where were you at since you have both? No, I'm just kidding. I know life goes on. Everybody has life. That's sick, dude. We should ride both. Rascal says, so is... did I miss something? Yeah, was that a typo, Rascals? I'm not sure what you're referring to. So is what? Don't leave us hanging, man. Don't leave us hanging. Oh, there we go. So is Brighton looking good for the weekend? Oh, question mark. Yeah, dude, Brighton looks really good. In fact, they had a ton of snow today. I think Open Snow claimed that they had like 9 inches this morning. Wish I could have been up there today, but yeah, I think both Big and Little Cottonwood are getting a bunch of snow. And Mitch, sorry, I didn't mean to skip over you. What's up, Mitch? He says, hey, we just tuned in. Thanks for being here, Mitch. We'll probably keep the chat going for like at least another 5, maybe 10 minutes if you guys have any questions. Also, if you guys haven't hit the thumbs up, smash that like button. Smash it, cannonball it, press it. Just don't press it twice, okay? Yeah, let's see if we can get it up a little bit. We got a few more. We got up to 10 likes there. Sick. And yeah, let me know if you guys want me to continue doing these live streams. I'll try to get Austin in another one. It's always fun when he can chime in. But might wrap these up pretty soon for the season, for better or worse. But let me know if you guys want me to keep doing them. As I said, I might put out a poll asking if you guys will tune into the live streams if we keep doing them. But I really have enjoyed them, so thank you guys for being here. Mitch says, what's the ride plan this weekend, boys and girls? Yeah. Yeah, what are you guys planning on doing? I'm going to be at the Bird tomorrow, and then Saturday, I think I might get out for a few more laps in the morning. I think I've got parking at Brighton. Yeah, so I might hit Brighton Saturday morning for a few, actually. Yeah, Rascals, if you're down to hit Brighton, let's link up and grab some laps. Yeah, that's my plan for this weekend. Sunday's Easter. I'll be doing stuff with the family. It's also my wife's birthday, so wish my wife a happy birthday for Easter. Doesn't often happen. I think it's like, I don't know, every 7 or 8 years or something. Her birthday happens to fall on Easter, but Easter is super early this year. So we'll be celebrating her birthday on Friday, and then we'll be doing like family stuff for Easter anyway with my mom and whatnot on Sunday. So won't be riding those days, but we'll probably ride. We'll definitely ride tomorrow, and then a little bit Saturday, and then maybe Monday, Tuesday. But I have no idea where yet. I will let you guys know as soon as I find out where I'll be riding next week. But a lot of things up in the air right now as to where that'll be. Where do you guys want to see me ride next? Gary says, is this the last weekend for nights at Brighton? I think it is the second to last weekend. I know Brighton just posted about it today. Let me see if I can find it. I saw a post today about night riding at Brighton. Excuse me. I want to say that they said they're going to keep it going until the following week. That's not it. That's not it. Yeah, April 6th. So Saturday of the next weekend is the last night riding day. So got this weekend and then Friday and Saturday of the following weekend. Hope that helps. I need to get up there for a night session. Yeah, haven't done that this season. It was super fun when we did it last year. 901. If you guys got any more questions, definitely throw them in there. As again, throw in a thumbs up if you haven't already. Really appreciate you guys. And yeah, I'm stoked for this snow coming in. This has been a heck of a month. You know, March came in like a lion, and it's going out like a lion, and April's coming in like a lion. Hopefully May will be a lion as well. Yeah. Very stoked on the snow. Where was I? Rascal says, sweet, I'm flying in on Friday night. Nice. Yeah. Just be aware if you're planning on parking, if you have a rental car or something. First of all, the rental car probably isn't going to be equipped to handle driving in the canyons during snowstorms. But you're going to need parking if you have a car as well. Parking reservations are required on the weekends for Brighton and Solitude. Excuse me. But you can always take the ski bus, and I think the ski bus is still running for at least another week or two. And that's free if you got the Icon Pass. And then there's the Canyon Connect transportation, which I've heard really good things about. I was talking to somebody at the meetup who did that. I think it was Chris. Chris, was that you? I think it was, right? Didn't you say that you use the Canyon Connect? But that's another option to get there. But yeah, I'll be at Brighton, hopefully, Saturday morning. At least that's the plan right now. It'd be sick to grab a lap with you if possible. Mitch says, I'm thinking Bird till Friday, then head up Brighton and Solitude on Saturday, Sunday. Sounds like a good plan to me. Yeah. I do hope that the Bird doesn't get hit real bad with winds tomorrow with like tram closing and Upper Mountain closing. We'll see. I'm a little bit concerned about the winds tomorrow, but I'm going to roll the dice and go there anyway. Jason with the super chat. Thanks, buddy. Season pass fun. Nice. Also, PSA, hit the like button. Yeah. Awesome, dude. Really appreciate that. We got a ways to go for getting up there for the season pass fun, but I really appreciate it, man. That helps a ton. Yeah, that's awesome, dude. There was another comment you had. Yeah, born and lived part of my youth Okay, for New York, been a Yankee fan ever since. Sweet. And Brooklyn, New York. All right, dude. Mad respect then. I have the utmost respect for you being a Yankees fan. Now it's you guys' lives. You can do whatever you want, but I do like to give people crap for being Yankees fans if they've never been to New York. But yeah, I'm all for rooting for your home team or what you grew up rooting for. Gary said, definitely start the live streams up again for next season. I learn a lot. Awesome, dude. That's so cool. I love hearing that, man. Very cool. I didn't even think that you guys would just be like learning stuff in the chats. But yeah, I mean, I try to help answer questions. And then I learn a lot too from you guys and a lot of information that you guys drop on me. You guys have a ton of knowledge too. So thank you guys for everything that you've contributed to these. Yeah, we will definitely do live streams again next season. If anybody has a preference on a different time, definitely let me know, or a different day. Wednesday nights worked pretty well for me this season. I'd like to do them a little bit earlier, but honestly, it just worked well with us putting down Arthur to bed and everything and having dinner. Like, we could hop on here like right after that. So it's a little bit harder for me to do them earlier than this. But I know people on the East Coast, it's a little bit late. So we'll see. Maybe we can adjust things. If anybody wants to do a different time or date next year, let me know. And yeah, I mentioned this already, but we'll definitely do another meetup. And the best way to kind of get feedback from you was from the live chats on like what time and dates to do the meetup this year. So that's another awesome thing that was accomplished from the live chats. We'll definitely do that again. I will pick a date probably a lot sooner next year and just stick to it. Or I should say dates. We'll try to do 2 days again. So it'd be great to meet up with you guys again next season, as well as continue these live chats. Sean says, need live streams, après and board and ski after meetups. Nice. Yeah. I guess you're saying two different things. We need live streams, or are you saying we need a live stream of the après after meetups? But yeah, we will definitely do a little bit more of an après next season after the meetup too. Saturday we were at Solitude and we started around 1:00 and took that to like 4:30. So we didn't really do like a tailgating like après thing at Solitude, but did a little bit at Park City, hanging out in the parking lot afterwards. We had a little bit more flexibility at Park City just because parking was free all day long. But yeah, next season I'm going to do a planned meetup where we can maybe all grab something to eat afterwards, or just hang out in the parking lot and tailgate. And who knows, maybe we'll live stream it. Jason says, weekend ride for me is Mammoth. Nice. Dude, I've always wanted to go to Mammoth. That's sick. Hopefully Mammoth has good conditions right now. I think they've been getting some decent snow. I know Tahoe's had a ton. Tahoe got absolutely slammed. So I imagine Mammoth has gotten some of that. So sick, dude. Have a great time down there. Mitch says, I personally would love to see you explore more of Snow Basin, but I know the snow quality in the Cottonwoods is better for spring. Yeah, maybe next season, ? Yeah, I think I can already see like the dollar signs adding up, but I think I'd like to try to get the full Icon Pass next year for Snow Basin. So I won't be as much at the mercy of trying to get comp passes at Snow Basin. If that's the case, then maybe I'll be at the basin a little bit more. For me, it was just, trying to find the right time to go when the conditions were good and being able to link up with my homie Mark, who had connections there to get us passes. And we just kept striking out. Like, our schedules weren't syncing up this season. And before we knew it, it was like the end of March, and yeah, we finally just picked a day and stuck to it, even though the weather wasn't the best. I would like to shoot more of snow basing for you guys and explore more myself, because every time I've been there, I've always come back wanting more and feeling like unsatisfied that I didn't ride everything I wanted to ride there. A lot of times, a lot of the terrain's closed or the conditions just aren't permitting it. But yeah, yeah, I agree. So maybe next season. Um, and I think they close a little earlier too, don't they? I want to say Snow Basin. If they haven't announced a closing date, it's probably going to be, if I had to guess, like around April 16th or 17th, somewhere around there. Um, I don't know. I'm just shooting that out there, but they usually, I think, close mid-April. I was going to take a lift. Would that work? Says the Rascals. If the weather's clear, yes. If it's not clear, I don't know. That could be kind of a gamble. It could be like a gamble whether or not you're going to get a lift driver that actually has a vehicle that can drive up the canyon. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend the lift. I would probably bank on the ski bus or the Canyon Connect shuttle. It's $10 for the Canyon Connect, $10 each way. But you get to pick what time you go, and it doesn't happen all the time, but there's a potential that you could actually even get up the canyon before the rest of traffic if there was a road closure. Big Cottonwood doesn't close nearly as much as Little Cottonwood does, but again, yeah, I was talking to Chris, and he said that he got up early because they let like the ski buses and the Canyon Connect shuttle go up before the rest of the cars could on a PAL day, and that just sounds super sick. Yeah. Rascal says, "Okay, cool, that'd be fun, but I'm like early intermediate level yet." No worries, that's awesome, man. We've all been there, or some of us are still there, and yeah, you'll get better. That's awesome. Jason says, "Happy birthday to your wife and happy Easter, everyone." Thanks, man. Happy Easter to you as well. I almost said happy birthday to you as well, but it's probably not your birthday. Yeah, thanks. I'll pass that along, Jason. And yeah, happy Easter to all you guys out there as well. Mitch says Mammoth is going to be fun. Yep, big dumps. Nice. Yeah, I'm sure they're getting a bunch of snow as well, and have. And Jason says, yes, Tahoe is currently getting slammed. I've heard. Oh, you're at the Tahoe area right now for the time being. Sick. A little jealous. Very cool. And yeah, Rascal says, I'll look at those options. Thanks. My pleasure, dude. Yeah, kind of going back to what Gary was saying, like, I'm glad that I can help out with any information I can throw you guys' way with transportation and whatnot, answering any questions about passes and stuff. So I'm glad to be here, and I'm glad that you guys are here. Thanks so much for tuning in. We're at 11 likes, and it looks like we got about 9 people in the chat right now. So if you haven't hit the thumbs up, hit it on your way out. And yeah, I hope you guys like the video I get to drop tomorrow. I mentioned this already, but it's a side-by-side comparison video, like a head-to-head with GoPro and DJI. I think you guys are going to be surprised. It's been fun using both of those cameras. I hope you guys like that video. It's going to drop tomorrow. And do I have both of them here right now? Yeah. Got the GoPro right here, and I got the Osmo Action 4. Drop a comment what you guys think is going to be the winner of this head-to-head. Yeah, if you care. if you don't care, it's going to be a sick video anyway. Awesome footage, bunch of PAL content in it, and some Bluebird content as well. Yeah. If you guys have any other questions, drop them real quick. But it is 9:14. Gonna be signing off. Jason says, one day I'll make it to one of your meetups. Yeah, dude. Well, we've only done one so far. That was the week and a half ago. It was the first one we've ever done. But as I said, I will give much more advanced notice for next season. It'll be tough to pick a date, that will work for a bunch of people, because you can't please everybody and everybody has different schedules. But we'll try to announce it very far in advance to let you guys make plans and arrangements if possible for next season. I think we'll do it around February or March again. It just seems like a good time of year to do one. But I think it might be a little earlier than this one was. This one was like mid-March. Rascal says, do you also use Insta360 X3? I do not. No, Insta360 is like the one camera brand that I haven't really used. I haven't really been interested in the 360 cams just because, I don't know, I'm not really sold on just the selfie, like remove pole thing. But I can't remember if the X3 is like their straight up action camera or if it's like a selfie one. I know they just released a camera. It probably is that one that looks a little bit more like the GoPro or the Osmo. That's not like the long skinny one. And from what I've seen, the footage looks pretty good on that one, but I have not used it. And yeah, I haven't had an opportunity to. Oh no, okay. You say X3 is the long skinny one. All right. Yeah, I think they're good if you're only able to film yourself and you're just gonna hold a pole, like that's good. But if you want a camera that does a little bit more than that, then I think these guys are the way to go. You just get something much more cinematic out of both of these cameras. Yeah, and I do a little modification with wind noise. If you're wondering what this fluffy stuff is, these are dead cats. This one actually just came off the GoPro when I was in Boise. The conditions were pretty wet, and I think that's why it ripped off. But I will put it back on, and I just attached one to the Osmo Action 4, so hoping to get some good audio out of that tomorrow. But yeah, those are my thoughts on those cameras. Again, I think they're good for a lot of people if you're just filming by yourself. It's kind of cool, I guess, to have the pole removed, but it's sort of like a one-trick pony to me. For filming other people and getting B-roll and stuff, I feel like it just doesn't look very good. And anything steep doesn't look as steep as it does on these cameras, on like an Insta360. Just like the huge, like super fisheye, kind of distorts the steepness and doesn't make it look as good. But anyway, that's my opinion. Yeah. So anyways, thanks again, guys. We're up to 12 likes. If anybody hasn't hit that like button, hit it on the way out. And thanks to Jason for the super chat. Thanks to all you guys for being in here, for giving me some of your time. Is a hot commodity. Everybody's time is valuable. So thank you for spending your time on a Wednesday night with me here. And yeah, I will put out a poll about doing another one. But if this is the last chat of the season, thank you guys so much for being here or for being at any of the chats. We might not be done. Yeah, I'll let you guys know. I'll make a post about it. But I hope you guys have an awesome weekend, and I hope you're shredding wherever you can. Ken dropped in real fast at the bottom of the chat. What's up, Ken? He says, I'm loving my BP VO gloves. Sick. Such a high quality product. Zippers are super useful. Yeah, I say this all the time, guys, but if I could get a pair of VO gloves in everybody's hands, I promise you would never go back to regular gloves. They really are completely game changing. So yeah, if you guys are interested, check out vogloves.com. The zippers are not just a gimmick. Yeah, it literally makes life so much easier. And they're super high quality, warm gloves, waterproof. So glad you're liking them, Ken. That's sick. Yeah. Peace out, says Jason. Great video edits, by the way. Thanks, man. Yeah. Stoked on the one that's dropping tomorrow. Hope you guys like it. And hope you all have a good weekend. I hope you're shredding wherever you're at. And if you can, come to Brighton on Saturday or the Bird tomorrow. And maybe I'll see you there. All right, guys. Thanks so much for being here. Appreciate y'all. Yeep.